Hi, everyone, and happy Mother's Day. It's Catherine here. I was not planning to do this. I was planning to be out the door already today, and it just sort of came over me to sit down and share some thoughts about Mother's Day. It's a very mixed day for me. Obviously, I'm a mom and I'm a grandmother, and I love that aspect of my life. And I also have my story of having lost my mother, actually 48 years ago this month. Her passing is very close to Mother's Day. So there's always sort of this birth and death and celebration and joy and sadness sort of all mixed up together, which seems to be the theme of my life. If you know me at all, I have a lot of those kinds of intersections in my life. My mom passing when I was 22, 2 months before I got married. My father passing when I was 30, 2 months before my oldest child was born. One of my brothers passing on one of my other brother's birthdays. I could go on, but I won't, because I just want to share a few other thoughts about this. So whether you have been a biological mother in this life is almost sort of irrelevant, because there are so many other ways that we can mother others, whether we have foster children, whether we have adopted children, whether we take care of, whether we're a daycare worker or a teacher or a nurse or just a woman who loves her nieces and nephews or does something in the community. In so many ways, if you're in a feminine body, you are probably mothering. I don't even want to say probably. You are most likely mothering someone or some group of people in some way. And I want to honor that energy of mothering, healthy mothering, mothering that is compassionate, mothering that is patient, mothering that is unconditionally loving, mothering that comes from a deep place inside of us, our intuition, that helps us with our discernment and our decision making, mothering that teaches just by the way we live our lives what it means to be a kind, compassionate, generous, gracious, grateful, joyful person in a body, right? So again, whether you have been a biological mother or not, whether you are sitting in sadness or loss or grief today for your own mother, or I know there are some mothers I know who have lost children, some recently, and whether you're sitting this Mother's Day in the grief of having lost your own child, I just wanted to come on and just share my heart and my love for all of you and for all of the ways in which we feel so deeply, we love so deeply, we care so deeply when we are really in touch with the divine feminine, the healthy feminine, the balanced nervous system feminine inside all of us. And, having been a psychotherapist for so many years, and before that worked in the areas of sexual assault and domestic violence and child abuse, I know that there are many circumstances in which people are born and grow up within their family, within their community, within their religion, within the patriarchy. Let's face it, we're all in the soup of the patriarchy. That challenge us, that harm us, that put us in a state of constant shame or guilt or fear or feelings of not enoughness. And what I want more than anything on this Mother's Day for all of you who identify as female, as in a feminine body, as women, that you had your biological parents, the parents your soul chose in this life to come into in this lifetime to master particular lessons that your soul chose to journey through in this lifetime. So you have your DNA, right, from your parents. You have your ancestral DNA, the ancestral history, and all of what's carried in your own cellular memory regarding your ancestors and your ancestral history. And you also have your divine DNA, right? We are born of a higher consciousness that is both or neither male nor female. And that divine DNA is basically sitting dormant behind our biological DNA until we start to do the work of healing and awakening and transforming. And that is my mission, that is my purpose, that is my love, to be able to do here on the planet and on the planet in my lifetime, is to support others, women primarily, but certainly men at different times, to begin to do that healing work, to be courageous enough to drop in and begin to identify those places where there are patterns that aren't serving you, there are beliefs that aren't serving you, there are behaviors that are no longer serving you, and really doing the work to unpack that and unfold that and shine the light on that, so that as you shine the light, you can bring whatever has been in the darkness to the surface, not in a way of shaming or blaming or playing the victim or playing the aggressor. It was your fault, right? But to really just hold it all in love and recognition that this was part of your journey. And even though on a human level was and may still feel very difficult, on a higher level, on a soul level, there was a reason your soul chose this particular journey. So those of you who are in my membership or who I see one-on-one as clients, know that I've been talking about this period of time that we're in right now. In particular, I feel like I've been talking about this period of time for 25 years, but it keeps getting more intense as the awakening, becomes more intense. And we are in a very intense period right now where the light codes, where the plasma light, where the orientation of different planets in the solar system, and I am not an astrologer, but I do follow some, and I know that this orientation right now is so strongly aligned with shining a light on what has been in the dark and in the shadow. And that's for each of us on a personal level. It's also on a global level, which is why, it's such a shit show. Let's face it. It is such a shit show. But what it really means on a more hopeful, sort of forward-looking way, is that everything, all of the greed, all of the power over, all of the misogyny, all of the racism, all of the toxic patriarchy, everything that has been built on greed and power over is literally now having such strong light shone upon it that it can't hide any longer. And I know this is difficult to go through as we're living through it. And it is certainly more difficult for those for whom life is generally more difficult already, right? People who are in lower economic situations, people with brown skin, women, and so I don't want to do any kind of spiritual bypassing and say, oh, this is all great and, we're all going to be fine. I believe that we will be fine. And I know that in the process, on a human level, there will be suffering and loss and horrific things that we will be learning about. And I guess I just want to sort of wrap up on a note that says, what has helped me over the last 30 years move through difficulties is knowing that we have been in this process of ascension, of transformation, and knowing that I have a place in that to support other women and and a few good men who are walking that journey. And I'm only a few steps ahead of you. I have this vision of me. I've had it for so many years, sort of as the bridge, or as the one who sort of turns around and offers her hand to the woman coming behind her, to help her cross that stream or that rocky terrain, perhaps a little more easily than I did it, because I'll tell you, I had a lot of slips and falls. There were times when I walked a very fine line between, trusting that I was awakening and wondering if I wasn't having some kind of psychotic breakdown. I don't hope that for anyone. Which is, again, part of the reason that I am here, and I want to be that voice, that hand, that steadiness to offer you based on my own wisdom, my own experience. Not that I know it all, but that I can hold a certain field for you. So again, I had no idea where this little hello was going to go. I do need to go meet a friend now. But again, happy Mother's Day to all of you. And just know that my belief is what the world needs now is more and more women healing the wounds, awakening to the awareness that they are divine, that they are spirit in a body, embracing more of those divine feminine qualities, right? Of compassion, of intuition, of freedom, of love, of joy, of being embodied, having spirit embodied. There's so much more I can say about that. But I really believe that it is the women who are going to shift the energy and the trajectory of this world that we are in. The more that we heal ourselves individually, we heal the collective. And together, perhaps in the near future, we can have a Mother's Day where we are really so fully aware of the love of the mother, just the love of the mother surrounding us, holding us, guiding us forward. So I think that's what I want to share today. Love you all. I hope you're having a beautiful day, whatever it is you're going to be doing. And I will mention I am heading over to Substack. I'm starting a new community over there called Sacred Rebel Sanctuary. Like this impromptu video, I'm not exactly sure where that community is going or how I'm going to build it and create it, but my hope is that I will create a place where women who are ready to do their work, be in community, and be the bridges, become the ones who start to envision and then embody this new world, this heaven on earth, if you will, right? This place here on earth that works for us all. All right, happy Mother's Day. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.